Hey, what's up guys? Austin back here in our video. This video is going to be about how many ways you can rig a straight tail worm or a Senko style bait. I have several different brands, several different sizes, several different colors, everything like that. So this one is made by Kyle, Lois, and the boys. This is a Senko. This one is made by Berkley. It's a bottom hopper. This one is a Strike King. This one is a Zoom Trick Worm. This one is a Berkley Flatworm. Get out of here, B. So this is a 4-inch something. This is a little 3.6-inch Berkley Flatworm. This is the Deminky Worm. This is the NetBait T-Mac Worm. It's either T-Mac or C-Mac, I can't remember. This is the Zoom Finesse Worm. This is the Missile 48 Worm. This is the Daiwa Worm. This is a Yumdinger Worm. I would typically have a Gary Yamamoto Senko here. I ran out. I'm sorry. Now, you can also use the Zoom Swamp Crawlers, stuff like that. However, you cannot use for all of the and this is a Bass Pro Tournament Series worm. Now, with all this being said, you cannot use a ribbon tail worm with this for most of it. Now, here's what I'm going to show you. All the different ways you can rig it. So, number one, get you a hook and Texas rig it, weightless. So, weightless Texas rig, you will go in the center of the bait, just like this. I like to go till the bend right there, push it out. You're going to slide that up your hook, just like that. Now, when it gets there, it's automatically wanting to turn. So you want to turn it and then go in it. Man, I've got that hump in that so bad it ain't funny. There we go. So that is a weightless Texas rig. You can go a weighted Texas rig by just adding a bullet sinker, and it will look something like this. Now, so there's two ways. Now you can also pick you up a pack of bobber stops. I don't know if you can see them. So you run your line through this little loop there and just grab your bobber stop, pull it, and then go onto your line. So you've got a weightless Texas rig, a weighted Texas rig, and a weighted peg Texas rig. There's three. Now, something else you can do, you can drop shot it. So, a drop shot, it does get a little bit complicated. You will grab, I thought I had every hook I needed out, but apparently I don't. Wrong hook. Wrong hook. Here we go. If I don't drop them and take 10 million years to get them out. So you can go to Walmart. They're very inexpensive. These are the hooks I use. I use the Shaw Grigsby drop shot hook. You get 15 of them for like $4. And all they are is an octopus hook, more or less, but without a big bend in them. So how you can drop shot it is you just simply take your bait, and you can do it with the full worm, and nose hook it. Nose hook it just like that. Now, where the drop shot comes into play and how you'd rig it, so you have your main line going up, and more or less you're going to have a leader branching down. This is the quick connect deal. I've had these forever. So what I like about these is you can grab a spool of line and you don't have to worry about tying a knot. So we're just going to grab a spool of line here. And you see this? I can run it right through there, just like that. Well, I missed. Right through, pull it up, and it hangs. Like, I'll break it. See how this broke that line? That's how tight that grip is. You will not have a weight fly off hardly at all. I'm not saying you won't, but it will be extremely hard to do so. So drop shot. Now, another way you can do it is the drop shot wacky. So a drop shot wacky that you can, once again, this time you're going to hook it in the middle like a wacky worm. Now, once again, you're going to have your main line going up. You're going to have pretty much a leader branching down and attaching your weight down here. Now, another way you can do is straight wacky rig or floating worm. People call it floating worm, people call it wacky rig, and when you talk about a wacky rig, you're really talking about a little bit bigger of a hook, something like that, and a Senko style bait, and hooking it in the middle, throwing it out there, letting it sink, pop, pop. Now, the floating worm, people call a floating worm. You're usually using a drop shot style hook or octopus hook, and still you're taking a trick worm or something a little bit skinnier, hooking it right in the middle, and you're twitching that a lot faster, like this. Once again, you're hooking it just like that and twitching it a lot faster. So there's the weightless Texas rig, the weighted Texas rig, the weightless peg Texas rig, the wacky drop shot, the regular drop shot. Now, and you've got a wacky rig, so that's 6. Well, what would you say if you can flick shake it? You can take your favorite jig head. I like a 16th or 1/8 ounce. I'll throw a quarter if I'm trying to get it 30 foot deep, but for the most part, I usually stick with an 1/8 ounce, and I'll just wacky rig it just like that. If I'm wanting to fish a little bit deeper and still be able to twitch my worm pretty fast, then I will go with the flick shake. So there's 7. Now, you can also do what people call a Nico rig, which is a weight like that. Same wacky rig hook or drop shot hook. I really do not want to rip this worm right now, so I'm just going to grab this. This one's actually designed for Nico one. You're still going to hook it in the middle or somewhere close, and then you're going to take a nail weight of some sort and push it into one side. Just like that. Now, that allows it to get a little bit deeper. However, it's going to go nose down. When you pop it, it's got the action of a wacky rig. But that is another way you can do it. So, there's that option. You can also Carolina rig it, which a Carolina rig, I've actually got one rigged up. I have the Lazy Man version of the Carolina rig without the swivel, but it's us an egg sinker, beads, and I've got 3 bobber stops on my line. That's normally where you would put your swivel, but I do the bobber stops because I can adjust the depth I want to fish easier. And there's a rage crawl on it, but I would not have a problem fishing a straight tail worm on a Carolina rig as well. Now, let's talk about something that's sort of like a Carolina rig, more of a finesse version. Split shot rigging, which is a bluegill sinker. Cramp it on your line just like bluegilling. I will run my weight a little bit higher up on my line than if I was going out bluegill fishing. But same principle, same setup. I will split shot my skinnier worms, which will still be wacky rig 9 times out of 10. And then I'll take my bluegill sinker and attach on my line, usually about this far apart. So give or take 10, 12 inches, not much. So split shot rigging. Now, let's say it's an extremely tough day. You're not getting bit on any of that. Let's talk about something that will get you bit without you having to spend money on a special worm to do so. You can Ned rig these. And what I mean by Ned rig is you can, if you don't want to buy a Ned rig head, use the jig head. I do it all the time. That's actually what I recommend doing, because 9 times out of 10, these are not standing straight up, no way, nor is the Ned rig. So what I will do, little money hack for you. Take you, well, I'll use a 5-inch Senko, or I can use a trick worm, whatever. I will take scissors. Sometimes I'll use my teeth, but I will cut right here, just like that. I use scissors to get it as straight and as even as I can. Oh, this is a jig head that I also use for Neko rigging, like I mentioned. Ned rig. Now, I have a second part of that worm. Ned rig. Same exact thing. Same thing. One's us that way, one's round. Big bull. So, you have got the Flick Shake rig, the weightless Texas rig. Well, let me go in order how I went. You've got the weightless Texas rig, the weighted Texas rig, the weightless peg Texas rig. Then you've got the wacky rig, the drop shot, the wacky rig drop shot, the Carolina rig, the Neko rig, the Flick Shake rig, the Ned rig. Now, and split shotting, so that's 11. Now, let's talk about something else you can do with it. I do not do this application very much. I know it works. I just do not enjoy fishing it, which is what people call the shaky head. Now, a lot of your shaky heads will have a screw lock on them. I wish I had one here to show you all. I don't even keep them in my box. That's how little I throw a shaky head, guys. If I'm fishing with someone, normally they have shaky heads, and the bad thing is I have a shaky head mold. I'm looking for a shaky head. I know I've got one laying around here somewhere. I just have to find it. Nope, not there. I do not have a screw lock shaky head. Oh well. This will work for demonstration purposes anyway. Because if I have to fish a shaky head, I will also use it like this as well. No harm done. I will run it through there just like that. Push it up. Spin it around. And there's my shaky head, guys. So that right there is 12. Now, pretty much the only difference between doing it this way and doing it a different way, I really wish I had a shaky head, a screw lock shaky head to show you. Well, I'll tell you what I do have that will work just the same. I do have some coilover springs, hitchhiker pins rather. Show you all real quick. If I actually thread it the correct way for once on the first try. And once again, this does work for demonstration purposes. Nope, of course I do it backwards. I do it that way every single time, guys. But no biggie. I'll just take it off there. And by the way, I hate bashing anything or anyone, but do not buy these Rapala pliers. They are awful. Like, I don't know if you can see that they are like, this way might be better. Yeah, you can see it. They are uneven. It's awful. I mean, plumb pitiful for pliers. Do not recommend them. Especially if you're not going to keep a backup set. These will roll on you. Especially if you are a younger kid. Do not buy them. They are pitiful of an excuse for pliers, guys. And that's not me bashing Rapala. That's just me bashing Rapala's pliers they have. Because they are awful. Okay. So, a shaky head will have a screw lock. Just like that. It won't be in the line tie. But in that case, what I do is, you'll see a lot of your worms have a point right there. Then I will take my scissors and I will cut the first segment off where it's flat. I will then take it, puncture my hole there. Some of them will have the eye puncture, some of them won't. Majority of them will not. I will then screw that up on my bait. On my spring. Push in. There's your shaky head that way. Now, let's talk about something else that up until this year people was not doing. And I've done it for a long time. That's taken a finesse cut jig, taking your favorite finesse worm, cutting it down about right there, cutting it down, pushing it up there just like that. Now, there's that. So, in very different scenarios, these is great to use. And I will break them down right now. So, weightless Texas rig. If you want a slow, subtle fall, if you're fishing for finicky fish, then I will go with more of the weightless Senko. If I feel like I need to get that Senko a little bit deeper, then I will throw the weighted Senko. If I'm flipping cover, it can be grass, it can be trash mats, it can be timber, it can be just flipping beside of a stump, any kind of cover. I do not want that weight to go away from that bait. I want that bait to go straight down. Then I will go with the pegged weighted Senko. Now, if I'm fishing more highland reservoirs, which it will work on river systems and lowland reservoirs as well, then I will go with the drop shot. The drop shot is just a better application on highland reservoirs, in my opinion, because when I think of a highland reservoir, I think about spotted bass and a lot of smallmouth. I mean, a lot of smallmouth. I'm not saying largemouth won't eat it, but that's us me. Now, another place that the drop shot comes into play is if you are fishing over grass. Like if you throw that Texas rig out there and you're just pulling it back, you're getting grass on it or moss on it, that's not good. That drop shot rig will keep that bait up out of the grass and your weight will be in the grass. So there's that option. The wacky drop shot, when I want a little bit of more action where they can feel the vibration through their lateral line, then I will throw the wacky shot. The Carolina rig, I'm still trying to figure out. In my opinion, I thought it'd be great in timber, but I'm finding out it's better in rock or a timber patch, not an actual bush that's 30 foot deep. Yeah, here be. So there's that. I'm still trying to figure out the Carolina rig. I do not throw a Carolina rig a lot. Now, the Ned rig. When you absolutely cannot get bit on anything else, you can throw a Ned rig and get bit. However, if you are fishing tons of moss, tons of grass, I would not throw a Ned rig, because you are going to get tons of moss, tons of grass on your bait. The fish will not bite it. Now, the wacky rig, when it's still got that same shimmy back and forth as the weightless Texas rig, but when you pop it, that goes whoop, them bow down and come up, and then it goes down and shimmies. Once again, a little bit more action. When I go to the flick shake rig, I will throw the flick shake rig when I'm wanting to get that wacky worm a little bit deeper, or if I'm wanting to fish a skinnier worm a lot faster, then I will throw the flick shake rig, which is just a weighted jig head. This I would not use for flick shake rigging. It's got too big of a hook in my opinion, and too big of a head. But flick shake rig's a wacky rig on a jig head. Now, when am I going to break out an eco? An eco is when I think fish is just wanting something different. They're not wanting a wacky rig. They're not wanting a Texas rig. They're just wanting something different to get that reaction, to get a trigger out of them. Then I'll throw the flick shake rig. Once again, that flick shake rig, it wants to go nose first, but when you pop it, it's like a wacky rig. So more or less, it's in between a Ned rig and a wacky rig. It's like a Ned rig and a wacky rig bred and had a kid, in my opinion. So that's when I'll throw that. The finesse jig trailer, when I'll throw that is heat of the summer or winter. When they're lethargic, they're not wanting a big kick in action, then I will throw the finesse jig with the straight tail worm or a Senko style bait. When they're not wanting a lot of bulk, I will throw that. However, in the summertime, in the wintertime, yes, they will eat bulk baits. I mean, for crying out loud, they will eat a dang glide bait. But the point is, if I need one or two more fish, I will go to the Ned jig And that's us for me to pick up that one or two extra fish that I may have not got bit throwing a crawl or throwing a beaver or throwing a rodent or something along those lines. That's why I throw that when I throw it. The shaky head. The shaky head is different than the Ned rig. It just has a little bit more action to it, and it will also get a couple more bigger bites. That's why you see a lot of people throwing the shaky head instead of the Ned rig. But that's just my opinion. The split shot rig is great, especially if you're fishing shallower water. You're not wanting that thing to skyrocket down. Then I will throw the split shot rig. You can get them in tons of light weights that does not take away from the action of the skinnier worms. It does not affect the Senkos half as much as well. That's when I'll throw that. Now, that leads me to this that I can't keep from y'all. I don't know the name of the rig. All I know is the rig is awesome. If you have been I ain't gonna say a member, but if you have stayed tuned on the channel and followed the channel for a while, then you've seen me post, or if you've looked at my social medias, you all saw me post a video of me and a friend of mine on Lake Cumberland holding a bag of fish. Now, if you followed the social media beforehand, you all seen me and another buddy on Cumberland holding a bag of fish. So I cannot keep this from you all. It is an amazing rig. Once again, I do not know the name of the rig. I really wish I did, because whoever came out with it is a genius, just stating. And it's very simple to do. So you will need a bobber stopper. Oh, by the way, if you are wanting to do the peg Texas rig but don't want to buy bobber stoppers, just go to Walmart or your grocery store. I mean, even the Dollar General may have it. I'm not 100% sure. And get some wooden toothpicks. You can literally put the point into right here in between your line and the eye hole, break it off. You're done. Now, in this scenario, you will need a bobber stopper. So, I don't know if you all seen how I put that on my line, but once again, I'm going through the loop. See if I can get to focus. So I went through that loop. I'm going to pinch and pull. And that's pretty much it. So some of them will be harder to do than others. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. And also the size of line you have matters. Come on now, get off there, little wire. I know as soon as I went to show y'all. Now, yeah, I done got one on there. But you just pull it up just like that. Now, you will need a drop shot hook or octopus hook. And you're actually intentionally, instead going in the back, you're going to turn it over where the hook point is on top. You're going to slide that up your line just like that. You're going to get a drop shot weight. Now, this little quick connect deal I was telling you about, it will not work. You actually have to have the one with a line tie. If you have some rusted out jig heads at home, then you can cut them and you will have the same thing I've got. That's all it is. You are going to tie your weight on, not the hook. You want the hook to slide up and down your line. Now, see, that hook can slide from the weight to the bobber stop. Weight, bobber stop. Now, I can adjust how far I want that bait to be able to go up. This is sort of like the drop shot, sort of like the Carolina rig. I do not know what this rig is called, but this is essentially a drop shot. Now, why is this important? Fish have seen the wacky rig forever. Fish have seen the Texas rig forever. Fish have seen a drop shot forever. They haven't seen this. And the reason why they haven't seen this is because you're still going to be able to get deep. You're still, if you are throwing forward facing sonar, well, using forward facing sonar and throwing at the fish, you can even use this on forward facing sonar. If you do not have forward facing sonar, you can use this in your pond. Well, you can take this, you can drop shot with it for one, just like that, and sit there. When it gets to depth, that weight's going to be on the bottom. This is going to slide up your line. You can sit there and hover it. Now, how I caught fish on it was wacky rigging. Wacky rigging it just like that. Now, the reason why that is so deadly, I mean, it is deadly. That's why I saved it for last. Only the real ones should know about it. Is because when you're throwing the drop shot, when you're throwing the weighted Texas rig, when you're throwing the flick shake rig, that bait is skyrocketing past them fish. The only way that even compares to that whatsoever is the split shot rig. But if you're fishing 20 foot deep, which I know you won't be in a pond generally, but say you're fishing 10 foot deep, that's going to take forever for it to sink. When you are throwing that rig, shoo, gone. And then whenever you put tension on it, that weight's going to be down here and that bait's coming up here. So when you are fishing it, it has slowed that bait down tremendously. Same way when you throw it out, that bait's initially going to skyrocket up to that bobber stop and stop there. That weight's going to be wherever you set it, that bait's going to be up above it. It will slow the bait down. In the summer and in the winter, that is killer. In the summer, it's 90 and 100 degrees, which we ain't seen that yet. But I don't want to be running a marathon and at 100 degrees outside. I don't want to be running to chase a Big Mac down the road and at 100 degrees. Same way as a fish. When it's cold outside, yeah, we can put clothes on. Bass can't. They are cold. It's like our bodies shiver to warm up. Their warm up is staying still, not expanding energy, because that water is so frigid. It's so cold. That's why you have to fish slow, methodical, and pick everything apart. You can't go down the bank and expect a bass to come from 10 foot. Will they do it? Yeah. But are you going to get more bites doing that, or are you going to get more bites putting it right in front of their face? Now, in the springtime, yeah, that right there goes out the window. By all means, throw something that's moving fast. Fall time, throw something that's moving fast. But summer and winter, slow down. Just slow down, fish slow, methodical, effective, and efficient. Guys, I know it's been a longer video than I anticipated. I hope y'all stayed till the end of it. That's kind of a treat, kind of a reward to you all. But thank you all for watching this. As always, be sure, give God all the glory, be safe, have fun, do something nice for somebody, please. And if you don't mind, if you enjoyed this video, because it's several applications I can do this on, modifying spinner baits, jig fishing, creature baits, crawl baits, how many ways you can fish a grub, all that. It's several ways that I can do more videos this way. So guys, if y'all enjoyed it, leave a comment, even if it's us saying, hey, you liked the video, hey, I'd like to see this kind of video. If you want me to break down a certain technique, whether it's something that I covered in today's video that was, for example, like if you want me to do an in-depth on a drop shot, I don't care to. If it's an in-depth on a Texas rig, I don't care to. You just have to let me know what you all like to see. But thank you all for watching. I'm out.